Man, this comic book sucks. And the reviews online said it was good. I wasted my money. Why didn't somebody tell me?
Hey, we're back. We're doing comic reviews again. We got 3 of them today that we're going to do for you, but they'll be separate videos, so you don't have to watch them all at once.
But we want you to.
Yes.
We want you to like and subscribe at the end, even though we never asked you to.
Yes, we do. I put it at the end. Please subscribe.
And like.
And like. You 4 or 5 or you 100. Whichever one the group comes and watches, please like and subscribe. Or comment and complain.
Yeah.
You can disagree.
That's the only way we know what to give you.
Yes.
So, first up, Inhumans versus X-Men. I'm gonna let PD go first because I'm pretty much taking a hammer to everything this go around. But let's go.
Well, I guess we should give it some. I'm gonna give it some history because you have the Inhumans and X-Men that didn't necessarily find themselves in conflict because the Inhumans were struggling with breathing in general, and X-Men were,
this is true,
feared and hated for what it did. So you go into the 80s, and Steve Englehart cleared that up, that the Inhumans can walk about, like had Reed Richards figured this out in the late 80s when they had to struggle for all this time. So now you have this terrible sort of irony where the X-Men now are getting killed by this Terrigen Mist or this cloud. I'm not sure where it's at, but it's really bugging me that this cloud and Cyclops has passed, or he passed taking out this other cloud. And then you have the situation where the X-Men are thinking about, they spend the whole issue thinking about what they should do about this cloud and the Inhumans. And that's when I'm like saying, all right, they're going to talk about this, the comics, and then you go to the Inhumans, and they have this nightclub, which is, I don't know why the Inhumans have a nightclub, but if you think about that.
Everybody wants to have the cantina from Star Wars. Everybody wants that cantina.
Yeah, so you have that, and then if you go there, you look at that portion of the comic, and there was a couple conflicts in the 80s with the Terrigen Mist where Quicksilver wanted to put his daughter in there because she had no powers.
Right.
And then at the same time, Medusa had issues saying the royal family wants this to happen, but I don't want, my cousin to have to go through this. And then at the same time, they went through the same struggle where...
But everybody's forgotten about all those stories.
But I'm saying, this is in her character. Her character, Medusa isn't someone that's going to go saying, hey, kids, you guys need to go into Terrigen Mist and you imagine what your power is.
And that's the problem I've had with this is that, Marvel used to be better. Used to be better at this, and they have done a good job over the last 10. I think it really comes with Bendis of like taking a lot of the stuff that was staples of their universe and the characterization of major characters and just letting it go because hey,
reversing it.
Let's just doing it. Let's just doing it for the hell of it. Because I'm looking at this story and I'm like, okay, one. And I already spoke about this before we got on. All of these big event stories are the heroes versus the heroes. It's not even like Maximus is in the background trying to manipulate these guys. These guys are just fighting each other because they can't get on. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Even that cover is misleading. Since you got Magneto on there, you might think, okay, Magneto is up to his... No. Okay, it's not even along those lines. But the biggest thing that bugs me is that you remember it was the Fantastic Four issue where they had to move to the moon because the Earth wasn't sustainable for them, so they had to go move to the moon. Yeah. It was poisoning them. Fine. This right over here, that was a pivotal and big point of the Inhumans history. And then you have this story. It's kind of like, well, wait, you guys don't remember this happened over here and all the other stuff with the Terrigen? No. We're going to go over here and do this story. It's such, and how long is this? Is this going to be a 12-issue limited series? 6?
Well, they had to now. I don't know how long. I would see. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to go for the long haul. They're going to go for the full 12 issues.
It's such a
Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
It's such a lack of creativity. I have a hard time saying this too, because usually I'm harder on DC about this, but it's such a lack of creativity on Marvel's part, where this is the best that we can hope for. We get X-Men versus Avengers. We get Civil War 2. Like Civil War was a good thing, okay? There's really no saving grace to Civil War, other than the fact that it didn't implode anything, and some of the stories that came out of it were okay. If you want to go that far. But we get Civil War, we get X-Men versus Avengers, where we have major things happen, and it happens over the course of 2 panels. Okay. Black Panther and Storm got married. That was an entire build-up to that. They were divorced in 2 panels in X-Men versus Avengers.
That's how it happens.
Spider-Man beating up the Phoenix Force. You know,
don't get me started.
We
gotta stay on this one. We gotta stay on this.
No,
one.
this is still this one. It's wild. It's some wild stuff, and it has nothing to do with these guys being heroes. Nothing at all. Then we get, Civil War II, which is, it's just like, hey, let's just have some spot deaths here, okay? And, that way we can make this as significant. Now it's the same thing. I'm getting Inhumans versus X-Men, and for myself as a long-time reader, I'm like, wait a minute. I remember all of the reasons why you guys should not feel this way, why you guys should not feel this way. To be honest, the Inhumans and the X-Men have more commonality than just about any other groups in terms of these superhero groups or these super-powered groups. Mm-hmm. And the reason for the reason or the budding reasons for the conflict make no sense if just two people were still in character, primarily Medusa, if she was still in character, okay, would just be willing to say, hey, I'm going to be the adult. It's like the situation now we have with the transition of power from Barack Obama to Trump. Look, we know that Obama wants to say, this jackass thinks I'm not born here. My mother was born here. How can I not be a citizen, you idiot? We know he would love to say stuff like that, but he's going to be the adult in the room. He's going to make certain it's a smooth transition so people don't have to come over here and legitimize whatever, bile they have, and we move forward. That's what you need in a story like this, and that could actually make it for a better story. Instead, it's the same nonsense. It's ridiculously flat ideology that's going to put these guys together. It's worse than the first year of the Avengers. The original Avengers, that first year, they were just like, hey, it's the Hulk, we got to go fight him.
Well, wait a second. I can say they lack direction, but then you have some things. You have at least some setup, some good sort of Marvel storylines and intrigue with the Hulk. This thing right here is going on, and I just think the characters, just having the X-Men talk about it, and it's like, we can't have a meeting. I don't know why there's a truce. And then, of course, they're just bits. So what's her name? Oh, Storm is cool by doing this. Oh, Emma's cool because she did this. And Beast is an idiot.
Yeah, that's it.
He can be an idiot because his younger self is with it.
Yeah, it's like It's like Mortal Kombat, and you read it for 12 issues just so you can see whatever the big feats are that happen. And the big feats, of course, will be things that shouldn't happen in the first place. Mm-hmm. They're just gonna go there. But it's such a lack of creativity on Marvel's part. I mean, because to be quite honest, Marvel is usually the better of the two big companies when it comes to pulling stuff like this off. And no.
When was the last time they pulled it off? When have they actually pulled it off?
I don't know.
I'm
in such a fervor, at being so it's borderline disgust, but I'm in such a fervor about it. It's hard for me to think back. When was the last time you guys were able to bring your characters together and something, decent happened? It's probably like Infinity Gauntlet or something of that nature before they just kept selling out. Okay, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Quest, Infinity Gauntlet Part 16.
What's it? They have Infinity Finale. Like, here's oxymoron. Oh, so I think, are we going to go back to our voting, or are we just leaving it out in our...
No, we're going to vote on this one.
So I'm going, I don't know, I just would say 1 star. I can't recommend you reading it, but, I don't know. There's nothing I can say here.
I'll see your 1 star and raise you up. Oh! Nothing from me. Nothing. Don't waste your time. Because the problem is, the more guys keep buying stuff like this, the more they keep doing it. Everybody complains, we don't like events. We don't like long crossovers. We don't like this sort of stuff. And then they put it out and everybody buys it because everybody wants to be sure, hope I don't miss a key issue. Hope I don't miss a good feat. I may have some online battle going on.
That sort of thing. You don't have to, because I've gotten into arguments about that with people saying, oh, such and such is faster than this. Daredevil can duck Cyclops blasts. It's like, we don't, just because you like this character doesn't mean, like, if you go back, I'm pulling this, I'm off track right now. If you go back to, say, when Wolverine first fought Iron Fist, and Iron Fist took him apart, threw him out a window, then they're fighting, and Iron Fist is struggling with the X-Men. But in the end, Wolverine comes up to his face, comes up to the mask, and puts his claws right through the mask, right in front of his face. And he said, Wolverine doesn't talk, he acts. And then he steals the whole comic. It doesn't matter that Iron Fist is a better fighter. Wolverine is just cool. You don't need him to beat up everybody and have all this stuff. You don't need to read these comics to say, oh, Emma Frost or Dazzler can face up with Black Bolt. I don't want to see that. That doesn't work for me at all.
Yeah, so. And at the end of the day, it doesn't make look, you have your, cause you have your low end, your high end, and your baseline showings. And this is like everybody wants to go for the high-end showings that you cannot sustain later on. Because if Dazzler can take out Black Bolt, then you have to up Black Bolt's game to a certain point where he's no longer usable as a character, where this guy couldn't breathe, because just the noise from him breathing would be enough to take down mountains. But that's what they're selling right now. It's Mortal Kombat type stories. It's not very, it's just, it's not, the entertainment value is so ephemeral at the end of the day that I can't advocate anyone spending money on it. I mean, without saying boycott, you know, you've got to withhold your money for good stuff and good comic book stuff, good superhero stuff. I'm not asking for, okay, we got to like line everything up with what's going on in the political world or in whatever social you know agenda is going on right now. Good comic book stories that are driven by the universe that you've already created. It doesn't have to be driven by anything else that's going on. So a big fat donut from me. Okay, I wish I had some coffee to dunk it in.
But I'm going with some. But then when you're looking at these crossovers and even the ones that are even popular, like this one. Just ask yourself, what's the human moment in here? What connects it to the real world? Besides a backdrop of seeing Manhattan with this big, you know, inhuman structure in there. Like if you look at the Kree Skull War, you have, you know, the Rick Jones. You have other aspects, them interacting. There's the person who's the Skrull. There's elements of humanity in there. And when we do these stories, there's no humanity. It's just. It is, as you say, that's the best description, just a battle sort of thing, so you can go online and say, oh, Psylocke took out Karnak, or Jean Grey, you know, outsmarted Karnak, and all this other stuff. You don't have to do it. Ask the people to add some elements. Some, you know, these MacGuffins can be in the story, subplots, real subplots, not twists for no good reason. That's what we're asking.
Yeah, you can actually even have a theme.
Yeah.
Remember that? They taught you that back in secondary school, right?
So,
a theme. You can actually have one.
That's what we're asking for. So, you know, thank you guys. We can't recommend it. Sorry, but we know you're gonna buy it. So, talk. You know, write back to us. Say, you know, point out what points you think are good and where it works.
Yeah, I bet we'll hear nothing. See you later.
Thank you.
Thanks, Spinnerack. You saved me money.